What's good, y'all? This your boy Blak G 92. Now, for this afternoon, well, even before I get started making it, well, I'm going to go ahead get it over with. The announcement's over with. This afternoon, I'm going to do a reaction to a mini documentary about 16 minutes, 24 seconds long. So I may do a two-parter for this one, and the mini documentary is titled 10 Most Controversial Moments in WWE Women's Wrestling. And the title itself is very interesting, so I can't wait to see what moments that have happened over the past, maybe within the history of women's wrestling in the WWE. In about 3, 2, 1. And by the way, I just wanted to go ahead and say it. Man, seems like my buddy that wants to pursue rap does not want to take heed to what I have to tell this man. I specifically kind of told this man several times that keep the songs in the chamber, focus on the tape, but still wants to put out another song anyway. I just want to put it out there. But anyway, it's probably for another video, and hopefully a live stream. Might live stream on maybe Discord or some shit. Alright, let's get to it.
From messy championship swapping to original screwjob and barking like a dog, these moments gagged women's wrestling fans like no other.
I bet.
For a wild ride. Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is DS, and this is the countdown of the top 10 most controversial moments in women's wrestling history. Yeah, we're taking a deep dive into the moments that had fans buzzing, social media on fire, and the wrestling world talking for years. By the way, this list is just my humble opinion, so if you disagree, let us know in the comment section. But let's start with the top 10. Our first pick is a title exchange between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. It was a simple job. They were just supposed to swap the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship after the WWE draft. Again, super simple task, but quickly it turned into such an awkward moment for everyone. So Charlotte threw her title on the mat instead of handing it to Becky, and then Becky threw her title at Charlotte, and Sonya Deville, who was a GM at the time, tried to facilitate this whole strange title exchange and ended up looking confused and pissed as hell.
I'm embarrassed. This is really embarrassing.
Backstage reports suggest that Becky and Charlotte had expressed concerns about the segment beforehand. The Queen reportedly didn't want to look weak, and the strained relationship between the two clearly contributed to the chaos. The segment was so freaking awkward that WWE edited parts out for its encore broadcast, and fans were left wondering if they just witnessed a real-life feud spill into the ring. In her book, Becky Lynch revealed that she felt Charlotte deliberitely went off script, leading to a heated argument backstage. Becky was so furious that she reportedly called Charlotte a crafty f***ing right in front of Vince McMahon. This whole deviation from the script.
God damn. Talk about drama. And I had no idea that Becky Lynch wrote a book. I'm going to have to check out her book because I'm interested in reading up autobiography / memoirs of famous people. Because, it goes, because that's the type of person I am. I like to read stuff like that about famous people.
Left the man fuming, and Charlotte was eventually escorted from the building. Whew, that was messy. But eventually, it seemed like a happy ending. They all made up at the Survivor Series War Games match.
Aww. That was really... It's getting dusty in here!
Number 9 on this list goes all the way back to 1985 with the original Screwjob. The WWF Women's Champion Wendy Richter faced a mysterious masked opponent named the Spider Lady. But the gag, the Spider Lady, was the infant.
That's a pretty unique name for a wrestler. Spider Lady. In 85, I wasn't even thought about it. I was still in my dad's nutsack by then.
Fabulous Moolah in disguise. And the match took a shocking turn when Moolah pinned Richter in a controversial fashion. Wendy kicked out at 1, but the referee counted to 3 anyway, giving the title to Moolah.
I was in pure shock. I thought I might have misheard.
And even the commentators were confused as hell. They thought the match was going to continue.
What was that?
Oh, let me go ahead and rewind it because I bet this flew by.
Shocking turn when Moolah pinned Richter in a controversial fashion. Wendy kicked out at 1, but the referee counted to 3 anyway, giving the title to Moolah.
I was in pure shock. I thought I might have misheard.
And even the commentators were confused as hell. They thought the match was going to continue.
What was that? Referee made a 3 count?
Wendy tried to go straight to the referee after this, but there was nothing he could do. You could clearly see Wendy was pissed as hell. Backstage, it was revealed that this was all a planned screw job orchestrated by none other than Vince McMahon. Wendy apparently had been in a contract dispute with WWE, feeling underpaid and undervalued despite her significant contribution to the company, and this screw job was Vince's way of taking the title off of Wendy without her consent. This, unfortunately, doesn't come as a shock now that we know a lot more about stuff that Vince has done. Number 8. Now, we all know that we love a Divas Battle Royale, but we...
shit, what I was about to say, yeah, not too surprising that Vince McMahon was screwdriver bread as such, because he has come to find out from what I read in a documentary that was put out on Netflix and other different news stories about McMahon's like history as such. Not surprised at all that he's caught up in some BS.
So not prepared for this one. On August 1st, 2011, the Divas all made their way to the ring to the slow version of Eve Torres' theme song because why not? The match starts and first of all, Melina got eliminated right away. She was like fixing her boots. And Gail Kim begins fighting with Alicia Fox and randomly slides under the bottom rope herself. Michael Cole in the commentary took a big pause before saying, "We have an elimination."
I believe, Gail Kim, I think.
You can also see Foxy just staring at Gail, all confused. Her self-elimination sparked immediate reactions from fans and wrestling insiders. And a couple days later, Gail posted this on Twitter, saying, "Hey, I just wanted everyone to know that I officially quit WWE on Monday, so thank you WWE fans, this won't be the last you see of me, love you guys." Gail eventually explained that she had reached her breaking point after years of frustration with WWE's creative direction and lack of opportunity for women. She didn't regret her decision at all, stating that it was a matter of self-respect and standing up for herself.
I was like, they're not even gonna care. They're not gonna notice. They don't give a shit for the girls. I was like, I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna roll out of the ring because they said we need to get out of the ring in the first 2 minutes. To be honest, they didn't care. They didn't even notice. I think 1 or 2 people noticed.
Gail's bold move was a clear message to WWE that she wouldn't be sidelined or disrespected any longer. And shortly after, she rejoined TNA, where she found greater opportunities and respect, and even later being inducted to TNA's Hall of Fame. Okay, I know that I disappointed you guys not doing Kelly Kelly for Halloween, by the way, this year, but I was in Korea for 2 weeks right before, and I feasted every freaking meal, so there's no way I was gonna do Mother Kelly Kelly justice. But since coming back, I've been back to working out really hard and eating healthy. See, I'm trying. But let's be honest, the world is crazy right now. You're busy, I'm busy. I've got some killer interviews lined up for the rest of 2024. We're all just busy, and eating healthy and delicious meals consistently, it's really hard. That's why Factor is here for the save. My Factor order is here! Let's go! Look how well packaged it is. I got protein option this time. Honestly, their juices are so good. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door.
These companies are really making a killing off those little pre-made meals they deliver in the mail. Yeah, these companies are definitely making a killing. And it definitely went up since the pandemic as well, or more so, however you want to call it, pandemic or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it definitely since the pandemic, it's just went up as far as like, what was it, sponsorship for these sort of companies that send pre-prepared meals and such, so you have something ready to warm up the microwave and such. So, hey, I say get that money.
Over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, plus veggie, and more. Like I said, with all the traveling, wrestling shows to watch, I'm always drowning in work. It was just really difficult to eat healthy and work out.
What are you eating?
I'm eating Factor.
Stuck in a time management loop? Break it with Connect Team, the one app you need to manage your team.
I do not want to watch another
Our AI creates a schedule for you, taking
commercial.
everything into consideration, while also showing you the labor.
I'm eating Factor. Best meal ever. And that's why Factor was exactly what I needed. Factor cuts down on grocery trips and cooking, so there's more time for you, and they offer nutritious and delicious options. So head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50BELL to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50BELL at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Thank you, Factor. Whew, so number 7 moment has to do with one of the most controversial squash matches ever. So SummerSlam 2021 had fans expecting Bianca Belair to defend her SmackDown Women's Championship against Sasha Banks the Boss in a rematch for WrestleMania 37, which was very, very exciting. However, it was already weird going into this match because Sasha was pulled from live events leading up to SummerSlam, but WWE continued to advertise the match until after Bianca's entrance. Then it was revealed that Sasha couldn't compete and Carmella would take her place. And yes, we all know Carmella is freaking fabulous, but Bianca literally defeated her like bazillion times before. However, the real shock shock came when Becky Lynch's music hit, and she made a surprise return to a thunderous roar from the crowd, having been away due to her pregnancy. But in just 26 seconds, the excitement turned into outrage as Bianca Belair's title reign was abruptly ended. Becky beat Bianca with her manhandle slam, and the referee counted to 3. And right after this match, social media freaking erupted, and many fans felt that this abrupt loss completely derailed Bianca's momentum as a rising star. Becky, whose legacy was very much cemented, really didn't need this victory, making this decision even more controversial. She even got the nickname of Becky Hogan from this match. Bianca later recalled this moment, saying that this was one of the most embarrassing moments of her career. This storyline, though, eventually paid off with Bianca getting a revenge at WrestleMania 38, and at SummerSlam 1 year later, Bianca defeated Becky again, with the two hugging, making amends. Ultimately, it worked out. It was a beautiful bookending moment. Number 6 moment takes us back to 2010. WWE began one of the most criticized angles ever with the Piggy James storyline. During this time, WWE was committed to its PG rating and had even launched its Be a Star anti-bullying campaign. Despite all this, the storyline featured Lay Cool fat-shaming Mickie James heavily, mocking her looks and calling her Piggy James. This storyline actually spanned several months with numerous segments where Lay Cool humiliated Mickie. The most memorable segments probably are when Lay Cool shoved a pig cake in Mickey's face.
Damn.
And when Layla wore a fat suit to try and mock Mickey's weight. And this is like insane to look back because like Mickie was serving body tea anyway. Like who came up with this shit? As you can imagine, the backlash for the storyline was significant, as fans and critics condemned it for its body shaming and unnecessary bullying.
I'm not gagging.
Mickie James later reflected on the storyline, acknowledging its harsh nature, but also noting that it helped fans sympathize with their character. Michelle also says she did not like the storyline, but they worked with what they were given.
It was really an internal struggle for me. It was hard.
Yeah. I remember because we would talk about it prior to almost every match, and you're like, "Are you sure you're okay with this? Like, I don't feel good about this, or I think this is too much." And I'm like, "No." And I think in my thought, I was like, "We're gonna take this and we're gonna make it gold."
She also added that Mickie never tried to change the storyline like some other people did. Spill the tea, Michelle. Like, eventually Mickie won this whole feud and she shoved the cake into Lay Cool's face. It was a happy ending, but what did you guys think? Did you think it was a good storyline, or did WWE take it too far? And few moments in WWE are as degrading as our number 5 moment on the countdown. On March 5th, 2001 edition of Raw, Vince McMahon humiliated the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus by forcing her to get on all fours and bark like a dog. This embarrassing act was part of a storyline where Trish tried to regain Vince's favor after falling out. The segment began with Vince berating Trish, who was visibly distressed, and then commanding her to strip down to her underwear and crawl around the ring.
What the is going on in here on this day?
It is so freaking gross, especially knowing some of the allegations. It's really freaking difficult. The backlash for the segment was immediate, with fans and media outlets condemning the segment for its misogynistic undertones and lack of respect for their female performers. Trish Stratus, though she's such a champ, she's such a queen, she later reflected the segment.
And everyone kind of brings it up like almost like, no, and I don't mean it like they make it like, oh my god, I don't want to bring this up to you, I know it's a really bad moment for you. Like, no, it wasn't a bad moment for me, it was a great moment for me and for my character. It was something that Vince and I discussed. We knew we were doing that, we worked towards it, we knew that like at this point Trish Stratus was a hated heel, right? Like, so we had to figure out a way to like get the fans to sympathize with me. Why would you sympathize with me at that point? And
she also later had this really cool slapping moment at WrestleMania. The number 4 most controversial moment on this countdown includes live
number 4.
Seriously, who the was riding on?
Well, these choices are getting more juicier by the second. Like the last one's like, holy shit. And then think of the allegations that Vince McMahon has. Like, yeah, that did not age well. That whole barking like a dog routine did not age well at all. Boy, man, folks are just wilding. And a live sex ceremony, yeah, that's a bit much too. On the same level as the last one.
On January 9th, 2006, we saw a notorious live sex ceremony on Raw between Lita and Edge. So this segment was to celebrate Edge's championship win, but it quickly became one of the most criticized moments in wrestling history. So the segment was part of this rated R era where Edge and Lita's on-screen relationship was heavily featured, and the situation worsened when Lita accidentally exposed herself during the live broadcast, adding even more controversy.
Cut the cameras.
Yeah,
Lita has since spoken out about how uncomfortable she was during the segment, revealing that she was basically told that she would be fired if she didn't comply with WWE's demands.
Well,
Despite
damn.
high ratings, the fan response was overwhelmingly negative, with many feeling that Lita was exploited here, and later that year we saw Lita announce her retirement from wrestling only after 6 years with WWE. Lita's tragic departure highlighted the harsh realities faced by women in wrestling industry, where they were often put in this compromising positions for entertainment. Despite the controversy, Lita's legacy in wrestling remained strong, and years later, WWE finally gave their flowers to Lita with the Hall of Fame ceremony, her return for the match with Becky Lynch. At least they did that. Number 3, May 16, 2022 marked a significant controversy in women's wrestling, or just wrestling in general,
Oh, I
when
wanna hear
Sasha
this.
Banks and Naomi walked out of WWE Raw due to creative differences.
Uh-oh.
This news sent shockwaves through the wrestling world, altering Sasha and Naomi's career and the industry as a whole. And WWE commentators Corey Graves and Michael Cole even went as far as to call the duo unprofessional on air.
Sasha Banks and Naomi let us all down. Their actions disappointed millions.
So the original plan for that night was a six-pack challenge where Naomi was rumored to win, chasing the singles title, even though the Boston Glow were the tag team champions, and they were promised they would help revitalize the women's tag team division. In a dramatic exit, Sasha Banks and Naomi supposedly left their titles on a WWE executive's desk and walked out.
They
Well,
left
damn.
the building. They left the
Damn,
building.
something might be some behind the scenes drama that caused them to walk out like that. But I'll continue watching VLC. Well, the information can be said.
Fans were completely divided on this news. Many understood the duo's reason for the walkout, while others were trying to paint them as unprofessional. Despite the public fallout and WWE's attempt to damage their reputations, both women emerged stronger. Almost a year after the walkout,
Okay.
Sasha Banks became the CEO of Mercedes Moné and dominated in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Stardom, and AEW, winning multiple championships. Naomi rebranded under her real name Trinity and had a successful run in TNA Impact, capturing the Knockouts Championship. Mercedes Moné has stated that no one truly knows the full story behind their decision except her and Naomi, adding so much mystery to what actually happened that night.
Nobody knows the story. You don't know the story. You're reading whatever you want to read and believing whatever you want to believe. Nobody knows the story because I haven't said anything. And I'm not going to say anything because that's just the classy boss that I am, the CEO.
I left that
Fair
day
enough.
because of the way I was talked to and handled. And it just, everything kind of just broke me that day. Had nothing to do with anything else.
Oh, sound like some, like I said, I guess kind of speculate maybe some drama they probably don't want to speak on or elaborate even further, which is, I guess it's a good way to go about it, because, you know, when you leave somewhere, you don't want to like go too much detail about where you used to work at and all that. So I respect their decision not to really delve into like the nitty gritty of why they left.
else. But that was just it.
Their departure showed the importance of creative freedom and respect for the talent in professional wrestling, inspiring other wrestlers to stand up for their careers and artistic integrity. On which side were you when this all happened? Our next moment sent shockwaves through the wrestling world during the Monday Night War. In late 1995, WWF Women's Champion Alundra Blaze was fired due to budget cuts and the company's decision to scrap women's division. And so what do you do when you're a champion and got fired and your entire division got scrapped? Go to the next biggest wrestling company, WCW. WCW also saw this as a golden opportunity and brought in Alundra, aka Medusa. So Medusa marched onto WCW Nitro on December 18th, 1995 and tossed the WWF Women's Championship belt into a trash can live on TV.
What? I love garbage.
Her trashing of the WWF Women's Championship was a symbolic act, highlighting her unfair firing from WWF.
I'm ready to kill it. I was serious. I'm like, okay, if they're not going to do anything with me, I need to say, hey, this is where the...
I see Ring the Bell is making his rounds, actually interviewing these legends. That's what's up. Shout out to Ring the Bell.
big girls play. I wanted to absolutely make a statement with women's wrestling there because it was well deserved. It needed to.
Medusa's action had long-lasting repercussions, though, leading to her being blacklisted by WWE for nearly 2 decades. It wasn't until 2015 that she was inducted into WWE Hall of Fame, finally receiving recognition for her contributions to sport. Medusa's trash can moment was the ultimate take this job and shove it moment, and it shook the wrestling world to its core. Before revealing our top pick for the most controversial moments, here are some honorable mentions. mentions. We got the
Let's get it.
lesbian segment on Raw in 2002, Dawn Marie and All Wilson storyline, the entire three-way storyline involving Tori Wilson's actual dad, and Carmella winning the first ever women's Money in the Bank match in 2017 with help of a man, James Ellsworth. Alright, the number one moment has to go to AJ Lee's pipe bombshell on WWE Raw from August 26, 2013. It remains one of the most polarizing moments in women's wrestling history. Just ask any Bella Army. In this heated promo, AJ came for the cast of Total Divas, including the Bella Twins and Natalia, accusing them for chasing fame over wrestling. AJ called all the women cheap, interchangeable, expendable, useless women. I do think it was really funny though that Bella Twins and Eva Marie are like screaming for AJ to say to their face, which she literally is doing. And also repeatedly yelling, "You just skipped!" This segment was controversial for addressing the real-life tension with the Divas division and AJ, and blurred the lines between the scripted entertainment and reality. Some saw AJ's promo as just really good promo as part of the storyline, but some fans argue that her words shamed Total Divas cast and undermined their contribution and just created division between women rather than unity. This discourse continues social media till today, sparking debates on whether the segment was iconic or simply overrated. Supporters
Interesting. No wonder, because it is. I mean, based on the little clips I've seen, which I might have to watch the full one, like in my own time, I guess. It seemed like she was dead serious with what she said about the other girls. So, hey, could be very well be the real deal, and like this made such an impact. People still, in fact, people still debating online about it. It shows that her words may have been her real feelings. So.
AJ for bringing attention to the women's division with this promo, while critics feel her promo was unnecessarily harsh and way too personal. Ultimately, AJ Lee's pipe bombshell is a defining moment in WWE history and has everyone still talking about it. But yeah, I know still to this day a lot of you guys are fighting about this, so who was on the right here, AJ or the cast of Total Divas? What do you think was the most controversial moment, and did we miss anything? Let us know in the comment section below, and special thanks to James for helping me with the research. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me at DSShin on Instagram and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Oh, that's what the dude name is. DSShin, and the channel is called Ring the Bell. I'd be forgetting. But yeah, this was definitely quite the list.
Hey, did you know you might get a big hat?
Also, history functions as a history lesson and different moments throughout WWE's history and such, and some good, solid commentary from a person that you can tell is an actual fan of the sport. So I've seen different clips of him interviewing all those legends. It's like, damn, he's actually doing it. The serious fans for real. And I was gonna do this split into 2 parts, but I decided, you know what, well, let this whole thing roll on out, because it didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome. So that's one thing I gotta say about that. I did like about this countdown. Didn't overstay its welcome. Didn't drag at all. Let me see what people have to say. One thing I love is when AJ Lee called out Stephanie over Twitter for the juicy stuff. LOL. What was the Gail Kim's self-elimination? We all knew why she did it. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to read some of this later on. But yeah, if you want me to react to more countdowns or just whatever the case may be, it could be another WWE type of video, or could be something related to like movies, TV shows, songs, music videos. Did I say music videos? Yeah, I did. I didn't say music videos. Maybe interviews, whatever case may be, or say trailers or analysis, mini documentaries, songs, music videos. Post them in the comment section below. And if it's your first time watching this reaction video or checking out my channel, be sure to hit that like button, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button as well. And also follow me on my social media accounts, which will be posted in the description box below. This your boy Blak G92, about to sign off. Holla at your boy.